Hey guys, it is MissSimReno. If you are returning to the channel, welcome back. And if you are brand new, I am very excited that you decided to join me here today for another speed build. And we are actually building a starter home in Mt.Komorebi using only Snowy Escape and base game. This was a challenge for me. I kind of built the Snowy Escape rental, and in my head I was like, yeah, it wasn't too bad, using just base game and Snowy Escape. It really came together. Everything's great. And then I tried to make a starter home where I was limited to, I think it's 20,000 simoleons for a single sim. And that was really, really hard for me. I've always kind of struggled with starter homes. I think there were maybe 2 or 3 that I've done in the past that I think came together okay, but that's because I didn't restrict myself to just base game. I think that's why, I didn't restrict myself to just base game and another pack or anything. I just used whatever I possibly could. And when you start considering the debug menu for various packs, you can get a lot of stuff. So doing it with just these 2 packs was kind of a newer challenge to me, and I hope that you guys do like it. I went for this really nice orange wood tone that we got with this pack. Basically, all of the build and buy, there's at least a swatch with this orange wood, and I really like it. I like a lot of the orange wood tones that we have in The Sims 4. I felt that maybe for this house on the interior it was a little bit of overkill, so definitely let me know if you agree. I kind of had that feeling when I was initially building it and kind of picking out furniture and the interior wallpapers and the doors, but at the end of the day, I actually really liked it. So downstairs, there is a raised platform, which ends up being the dining area. There's also a kitchen and a very small living space almost under the stairs. I also realized I struggled with the floor plan here, and I didn't really get to decorate too much because I was so limited on funds. But I don't know, the dining space is probably my favorite part of this entire build. I just really love the platforms, guys. I really do. They're kind of hard to use sometimes, but man, they add so much dimension and personality to builds and kind of makes them so unique, and I just love them. I also tried to kind of use some of the wood flooring that we had in game and just, I don't know, use it a little bit differently. So as you can see, I was flipping it every other tile to kind of give it a different pattern, just to mix it up, because honestly, there really weren't too many floorings that I thought matched with this orange wood tone with all of the furniture. And this is the only one I could really think of. And I also tried to use that kind of stone texture for the kitchen. I think I also use it in the bathroom upstairs. And as a heads up, this is only a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom home, which I was kind of surprised with. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get a second bedroom. Granted, it's very small. I'm not gonna lie to you, it is very small, and I kind of set it up for a child sim. So let's say that you actually had a family of 2 parents and a child. Granted, if you made them right out of Create Sim, you'd have more money than 20,000 simoleons, but this might be a good option where everyone has their own space, there are some activities to kind of take part in, and your Sims will be saving a couple thousand simoleons, moving into a cheaper starter home, which for me, I think this is a pretty decent starter home. But we're moving on to the upstairs as well, because what I try to really do with starter homes is get all the wallpaper and flooring, because that obviously has a cost to it, a cost associated with it. Get the doors and stuff like that, but then lay out the essential appliances or pieces of furniture. I started to go a little bit, I won't say decoration crazy, but I started to pull out plants and things downstairs, and I was kind of sitting there like, don't do that yet. You don't know if you can even buy all the beds you need. So don't try to toy around with plants yet. So I went upstairs, I laid out the double bed that I wanted that came with this new pack, as well as I think just a rug, and then I end up pulling out another bed for the kids' room, just to make sure that I could do it. And what I was so disappointed with, and disappointed just because I was trying to do a build like this, but I was so disappointed that a lot of the artwork that we got with the new pack was actually pretty expensive, so I really couldn't use much of it, at least not as much as I wanted to. I also didn't have room to put a dresser in this master bedroom, which is a little disappointing. However, you probably noticed out in the hallway, kind of at that landing space, I put those sliding doors in kind of a separated part. I treat that as a walk-in closet, at least for show, because we have some of those, but they're a little bit bulkier than I would like. So I kind of treated it as a walk-in closet. So that's just kind of my imagination here, because obviously they don't use them that way. But yeah, I end up getting a bookcase here in the kids' room and just a little chair in the corner here. Again, trying to use just base game, and the new pack was hard. The bookcase with this new pack was actually pretty big, so I couldn't fit it in this bedroom, and I really didn't think I have the space for it downstairs either, which is why I used one of the smaller bookcases that can sit on top of a like console table or a side table. You'll probably also notice I'm actually using the reshade I typically use just for screenshots for the actual build in this video. And if you guys do like it, let me know. I honestly really didn't like it that much when building, mainly because there are some transparency issues. So I'll likely maybe only use it in like another build or two because I already have a few pre-recorded, but I'm really not going to use it that much for building. I'm probably going to just use it for screenshots. It's just not really my thing. It doesn't really look that great when building, at least in my opinion. And I don't know, I just don't really like the depth of field that keeps coming into play while you're building too. And I could look into it, maybe turn it off, but I'm not quite sure. But anyway, I'm in the debug menu now, pulling out a few things just to clutter up these very empty countertops that we got with Snowy Escape. And unfortunately, those glasses, when I went back in, those tumblers, they disappeared completely, and the bowls actually got smelly and green and gross, so I had to end up throwing them out, the mixing bowl included, but the plates were fine. So I kind of have to go through the debug menu more and I think find the things that won't go bad that can stay as clutter items. But the things on top of the counter were fine, everything was good there, and I didn't want to go too crazy with clutter because I just didn't know what was going to stay, and I didn't want any of the clutter items to kind of like impede my Sim's ability to use anything. So I end up moving outside so I can start working on the landscaping, which was very easy. I was very at ease with that. Even though I was kind of building in, I think I was technically building in fall, which means that a lot of the plants were looking a little bit dead. So I switched it back to, I believe, summer for the screenshot, so everything looked a little bit more vibrant. But yeah, the landscaping was actually really comfortable for me. I loved using this bamboo fence in the debug menu and pulling out a few of the trees and different like shrubs and things like that. As I'm kind of looking at this telephone pole, I wish I'd actually kept it on the corner of the lot. I didn't keep it there. I end up getting rid of it at some point because I just thought it didn't fit, but in kind of looking around this neighborhood, it probably would have fit really nicely because it's kind of in the town center, and I wish I had kept it because I didn't. But yeah, I'm kind of trying to pick out some different shrubs and everything because I did know what most of these looked like. I had looked at the debug menu not in fall and pulled out some of these plants, so I had an idea as to how they were going to fill in a different season, but I am glad that I actually switched it back over to summer to take the screenshots because some of these plants did end up blossoming into the house itself. So I had to kind of pull a few of them back, maybe delete one or two of them just so it would look okay when it was in full bloom and not grow into the walls of the house. But yeah, I don't know. They have a nice little backyard, and I think the only activity is actually a gardening plot. At this point, I had, what is that, 60 something dollars, $2? I can't even see it on my screen, but I ended up using every single simoleon for this house. And you have to kind of calculate in the cost of the lot as well. So when I actually saved this lot to my library in preparation for uploading it to the gallery, I got the true cost of the home, and I actually came in under budget. I want to say, I think I came in at, I think it was 17,000 simoleons. So your Sims are actually going to have a couple thousand simoleons to play around with, which is to me a huge positive. I mean, for the build, it's not so great because I definitely could have used those extra thousands of simoleons to decorate a little bit more. But I think for the purposes of gameplay, it's actually kind of nice because when your Sims start out, they don't have any jobs, they're not getting anything really high paying, and it's kind of a grind to get to a point where your Sims can afford their bills and actually have money to kind of play around with after that. So I don't know, it kind of worked for gameplay, at least in my opinion. And then I just work on the landscaping in the backyard, and like I said, there's like one gardening plot, and the backyard's actually pretty open, which I was really happy about. So there's room for, you know, a swing set in the future, or a barbecue, or an outdoor dining set, at least some kind of activity that you want your Sims to take part in. There will be room in the backyard for them to set that up. But we are actually almost to the end of the build here, so I hope you guys did enjoy this one, and I will catch you next time I post a video, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!
I can see it in your eyes. I can haven't said that much. Through an empty bottle, I can see it all so clear. All these broken pieces will be scattered in the wind. We put up with